jaw-dropping news that it looks like that design language that the iPhone 17 Air is going to incorporate is now going to see and find its way onto the iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max. So, what am I talking about? What does it look like? Well, let's find out. Let me pull up and share my screen and we will check it out. So, I have, if you go to esimstudios.com, that's my website. That's where you can find all the latest tech news and tech deals this upcoming Friday, Black Friday. The whole podcast, the whole live stream on Friday, we're going to seek and find the best tech deals in the world online. So join us on Friday. I'm gonna put everything up on my website, esimstudios.com. And if you're looking for a new laptop, if you're looking for a new mini PC, if you're looking for new earbuds, if you're looking for a new phone, mouse, keyboard, Titan security key, whatever you're looking for, join me on Friday. I'm gonna stream early, so it'll give you. I'm not gonna stream in the afternoon. I'm gonna stream in the morning. Mid-morning, right? Not early, but mid-morning, maybe around lunchtime, to give you the afternoon to kind of look at some of the deals we are going to show, and then you can obviously make your pick from there. But if you go to esimstudios.com, I have the big article right here. iPhone 17 Pro leaks and reveals a major change, with part of the phone being aluminum, part of the phone being glass to support the wireless charging in the MagSafe, and a larger rectangular metal camera hump at the top back of the device. Now, I'm going to click on this and expand it so you can see what this thing looks like. It's quite a change, isn't it? Now, this is not set in stone, meaning it's not signed, sealed, and delivered. This is going to be the design, but it came from a leaker that has rock solid leaks, meaning majority of the stuff that he's put out in the past has come true, meaning I'll probably say better than 90%. So this comes from a very rock solid, dependable leaker online. He said this is going to be the iPhone 7. Now, here's the catch. He just states iPhone 17 Pro. It does not say Pro Max, but we're assuming this is what the Pro Max is going to look like as well. What are the chances iPhone just changes this, the iPhone 17 Pro, the smaller one, and then they keep this design for the Pro Max, the classic iPhone? It'll basically look like the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I'm talking about the 17 Pro Max. Now, what we do know is that they are going to go under some changes, some design changes. The current design of the iPhone 16 series, specifically 16 Plus, the 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max, has sort of worn out its welcome. So I think they're on the fifth generation, where it basically looks the same. Apple's going to get a new CEO here in the next year or two. And here in the next year or two, you're going to see the design language change. So at some point, they have to make a change, right? So how many years can you keep the same design? And basically, look, they'll tweak it a tiny bit, like add a extra button or throw on a dedicated camera button, which, whatever. But at some point, you have to change your design, right? They're not going to stay 20 years on this design. I mean, they probably want to, but you can't. Now, as long as your sales numbers are always on point, it buys you some extra time, right? You don't have to drastically change something to try to entice people to buy your phone. But their sales numbers have dropped off, not drastically, but slightly have dropped off. And I think the writing is on the wall that they are going to make a design change. So this leaker right now is saying this is what the iPhone 17 is going to look like. 17 Pro. Now, the 17 Air will look similar to this. It'll either have one camera on the top left, or it'll have two cameras, just like you see right there, but will be probably half the width of that. I know it's kind of hard to believe, but it should be an engineering marvel. There's never been a phone that thin before, I believe. Give me 1 second. I don't think there's been a phone that thin before, but we'll keep our eyes on it now. I'm also going to try and find out for everybody if this is going to be on just the Pro, or if it's going to be on the Pro Max, right? So it's poised to become the 17 Air that we're talking about. It's going to be the slimmest iPhone ever, with new information recently made available regarding its design and internal components. Reports suggest Apple intends to reintroduce its aluminum design reminiscent of earlier models, moving away from titanium materials utilized in recent iPhone Pro and Pro Max models. It's going to feature an aluminum finish, so it looks like they're going to drop the titanium build, which might make it a little cheaper, right? So as you know, costs are going up. Phones continually get more expensive, ever so slightly, right? So they may increase it by $50 this year, $50 next year, $50 a year after that. But before you know it, a couple years pass, and that same model is $150 more expensive than it was just a couple years ago. So this could be a way that they cut cost for them, which means it will try to be right around the same price as what we're used to paying for these, right? Now, part of the back is going to be glass, so you can have wireless charging. You could still have wireless charging, because if the entire back is aluminum, you're not going to be able to charge it wirelessly, right? And it's going to interfere with the MagSafe on there. So how they design this is going to be very interesting. I have seen this done before. I can't remember what device it was, and maybe you, if you're watching, you can, if you remember, you can tell me, but I do remember a phone having an all aluminum or all metal back, and then only right where the wireless charging coil was glass, so you can wirelessly charge your phone. However, it was not seen to the naked eye. To the naked eye, it looked like this, right? They just smoothed the finish, so that little circle where the glass was, they forged it in with the metal, so you couldn't feel the glass in the glass circle in the back. You couldn't see it. It looked just like a normal phone. It's just there was, behind that paint, there was a glass insert where you could wirelessly charge your device. I'm assuming they're going to do that, but I don't know. I'm interested in stuff like that. I'm a nerd, so I like engineering, design, stuff like that. So it should be interesting to see what they do. Now, the rear design for the Pro and Pro Max variants will showcase a new combination of aluminum and glass, as I just described. The top portion will feature a larger rectangular camera bump made of aluminum, differing from the traditional 3D glass in prior models. The bottom half, there you go, will maintain a glass composite and or component to support wireless charging. So it doesn't look like they're going to have a circle cut out. It sounds like what they're going to do is the top half, probably where the camera bar is going to be aluminum, and then everything under the camera bar will be glass, right? Behind the paint. To the naked eye, you won't see a difference, but behind the paint is where the difference will be. Now, That iPhone 17 Air is so thin. Going back to that device, the iPhone 17 Air is so thin. It's only going to house 1 or 2 camera sensors. It's going to be missing that periscope lens. The periscope lens is the lens that is very deep, right? And the phone is so thin that it cannot even incorporate a periscope sensor. So it'll be interesting to see how they design this. It'll be interesting to see. This should be the final design. I will keep a very, very close eye on this. But you heard it here first. I got this news earlier today and thought, you know what, I'm going to lead with this because it's coming from a rock solid, reliable source. And I've already known that Apple was eyeing a design change, right? We knew that they were coming out with the 17 Air, which is not going to look like any other iPhone we've ever seen. And look, all iPhones, maybe 2 or 3 years from now, might look like this, what's on the screen right now. They may change 1 or 2 for this upcoming year. And then the following year for the iPhone 18, every iPhone model probably will look like this, will carry that same design change. So they may try it on 1 or 2 models just to test the waters, right? You don't want to change every model and then people are like, it's ugly, and your sales drop off because your consumers think it's too big of a change and it's too ugly. So they've been known to do that in the past, where they'll change one model, not all of them at the same time, just to, like I said, test the waters a little bit, see if those sales are pretty strong, right? Those sales numbers, see for fanfare online. Are people raving about it? Are people dumping on it, taking a crap on this design? I like it. It looks really different. And at first, when I first saw it, I was like, what? But the more I look at it, kind of reminds me of the Nexus 6P. Maybe that's probably why I like it. But it does look pretty different. Yeah, it was a shocker. It was a shocker when I first saw it this morning. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to eSIM Studios, and you will get notified of every new video, every piece of content we upload. You will get notified of that. So you can stay in touch with what's going on in the iPhone